Okay, let's talk about something maybe you felt. You ever stared at your crypto portfolio just watching it bleed red? And yet, somehow, you just couldn't bring yourself to sell. Maybe you even, I don't know, doubled down, whispered HODL, and walked away. Why? I mean, this term, HODL, it famously started from a typo, right? A forum post back in 2013, misspelling hold. But it's become so much more than that now. It's like this badge of honor in the crypto world. It's a declaration, really. A belief in the tech, decentralization, maybe a better financial future.
That's exactly right. And HODling, it isn't just some market strategy you read about. It's really a window into some pretty deep, raw human psychology. So our mission today, let's say, is to really explore what's actually happening inside our brains when we HODL through all that pain.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that. So when you're facing that crash, but you believe so deeply in the asset, what's that internal conflict about?
Right. Well, often that's cognitive dissonance kicking in. It's kind of like this mental discomfort. See, we've invested heavily, maybe not just money, but belief in this idea that crypto is the future or, this coin is going to 1 million. So when prices tank, selling, it doesn't just feel like a bad trade. It feels like admitting we were fundamentally wrong, like betraying that core belief and that dissonance. It's really uncomfortable. So our brain, trying to protect us, often just digs in deeper, makes us hold on tighter rather than face being wrong.
Yeah, I can definitely see how that plays out. It's powerful stuff.
But, okay, beyond that internal belief battle, what about just the raw feeling of, seeing your money disappear? That's got to be huge, too. That sounds like loss aversion, doesn't it? This idea from behavioral economics.
Exactly. The principle that, well, we humans really hate losing something much more than we enjoy gaining the equivalent amount. And in crypto, where things can drop so fast, so dramatically, that feeling gets amplified, like intensely.
So how does that manifest? Does it make people sell faster? Or, ironically, no. It also makes us freeze. We just do nothing during a crash. Because the thought of selling, of actively clicking the button to lock in that loss, it feels way more painful, more real than just watching the number go down passively. So you avoid the action that confirms the loss, even if it might be strategically sound sometimes. It's less rational, sure, but very human.
Okay, right. And then there's that other feeling maybe you've held for months or years, that thought of, well, I've held this long. I might as well keep going now. What's that about? That feels different again.
Yes. That's where the sunk cost fallacy really gets you. It's a classic. And in crypto, it's not just about the money you put in or even just the time you've held. It becomes emotional. We're not just holding coins, we're holding memories, right? Those late nights you spent researching the Reddit threads, the dopamine hit from the last bull run, it all gets tangled up. Exactly. It becomes part of your story, your journey, as like an early believer or someone who saw the potential. So letting go feels like you're invalidating all that past effort and emotion, not just cutting a financial loss. Time itself feels like an investment.
So the coins almost become part of your identity then.
Precisely. Yeah. And that ties directly into the next piece, identity and tribal loyalty. This is huge in crypto. Your bags, what you hold, they often reflect your tribe. You're not just someone holding Bitcoin. You're a Bitcoiner. You don't just own some ether.
Yeah.
You believe in the whole Ethereum ecosystem, its vision.
Right. The communities are really strong.
Incredibly strong. So HODling becomes a signal of that loyalty. And selling, especially during tough times. For many, it can feel like betraying your tribe, like you're defecting from this shared belief system and the community built around it.
Wow. Okay, so pulling all these threads together, cognitive dissonance, loss aversion, sunk costs, identity, it paints a picture where HODling isn't always, let's say, the most coldly rational financial decision, is it?
Often it really isn't. It can absolutely be stubbornness. Or, just fear of making the wrong move at the wrong time. Maybe even just hope wearing the disguise of a long-term strategy. But, there's also a kind of beauty in it too, I think.
How so?
Well, it reflects something really fundamental, something deeply human, our capacity for long-term vision, especially in a world that feels increasingly short-term and volatile. It's about that willingness to endure pain now, to suffer for a future you strongly believe in. It's about resisting that urge to panic, holding the line when maybe everyone else is running.
That's a great way to put it. It shows how complex our financial decisions really are, how much emotion is tied up in them. So the next time you hear someone, yelling HODL online while the market seems to be burning down, you'll understand it's probably not just a meme they're repeating. It's like a little window into this whole emotional battleground.
Absolutely. And on that battlefield, well, the strongest hands aren't always the smartest, strategically speaking. but often they're the ones still standing at the end.
So here's something to think about. Knowing all this, understanding these psychological forces, how might that change the way you view long-term commitment? Not just in your finances, but maybe in any part of your life where your patience and your belief really get tested.